All right, we're gonna go on a little field trip. Not with the school bus, but my pickup's on the other side of the school bus. Several people have been asking to see Dad's 200, and it just so happens that it is leaking. So I'm going to run over there and see if I can make it stop leaking, and you'll get to see it in the process. I'm not sure that I have the right stuff with me, but if not, I'll go get some in town after a while, and then we'll go back and attempt it a second time. But that's where we're headed. Alright, welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Ross the Oliver Man. Back in my own pickup again. Finally got it back. We're on the third transmission, so we'll see how long this one lasts. I'm pretty sure that the warranty is now up. So, no matter what happens, this one's on me from now on. But we're gonna go over there and see if we can't make the 200 more better. All right, here it is in all its glory. It was bought new by my uncle, and now it lives over here. So we are going to see about this. It's leaking on one of these. We're gonna have to probably start it up and see which one it is. Do you know which one it is off the top of your head?
I'll start it up and you can see.
Okay.
For yourself.
And the camera.
And the camera.
I think it's the one right in front, but... Okay, that's good enough. That's all it took. I can see. All right.
Is my starter going bad?
Could be. I don't know.
It's been doing that.
Is your battery good or not?
I just charged the battery today.
Does the tractor not charge anymore or what?
I don't know.
It could be that the starter's going bad. It's probably not been changed for a long time.
But sometimes if you stop and start again, it'll start right up.
I may have to get some of these in town. I don't know if I got the right ones.
That's why I wanted you to order.
Well, I can probably get them in town after a while, but we'll see. Yep, I dropped that one. So now you're, well, there it is.
I see it down there.
Okay. Sure, there's nothing on there. That line's kind of chewed up. That's probably what is the issue. I hope these fit. These copper ones.
I'm gonna measure it according to this.
Well, it'll go. I mean, it just has to crush these things in there. Maybe. Of course. Start it up again. Where'd that? Oh, we'll save these for emergency. I hope that fixed it.
Well, they're not good, I can tell you that. You'd really have to be in an emergency to need that.
I think it's good.
It's good?
Yeah, it's running good too, so.
The way you were making faces, I thought something's wrong.
I saw some stuff shoot off of it, but I think it was just liquid covering everything and it was getting blown around by
the fan.
But that hopefully fixes that. We'll see if it runs better or starts better now.
But see if it started. Well, it just started that crap the other day.
It could be. I mean, that's some kind of replacement starter, so it's probably due to be, I don't know.
That's not an AC?
No, the original ones come out to here and you got to take all this off to get it out of there. I'm pretty sure that's how it is. I don't know. I might be wrong, but I think that's the way it is.
Huh. Well, we'll see.
Yeah. All right, so I kind of lured you in. That footage there is not what this video is going to totally end up being about, but anyway, what we did there was just replace those injector line washers, which is a common thing. Sometimes they start leaking. Sometimes you can tighten them up. In this case, I think you already tried that. It didn't work. I had some copper ones, so we'll see how long they last. The originals are steel, but the copper would have the benefit of crushing better to form to whatever unevenness is causing it to leak, but we'll see. So what we're doing now, if you haven't guessed, more Fiats. And if I'm going to trade, I got to have more stuff working here. So I couldn't get any response out of much of anything. And I started looking around. Well, I determined that the bulb was burned out of the oil pressure sender. So now we got that. We had sending unit was also bad because the light wouldn't stay or go out. So now the light will hopefully go out. Yep, there we go. And then when you shut her down, it should come back on there in a little bit. The longer the better is good, because that means it's holding oil pressure. There we go. So that's that. When we ran it the other day, the temperature gauge twitched. So I would say it works. Fuel gauge probably doesn't work. The wires are kind of bad. I may try to fix them up and see if it makes any difference. Yeah, because one of them's not even hooked up at all anymore. So I'll give that a shot, but I don't have high hopes for fuel gauge, but you can use a stick. That's the nice thing about that. That takes us to our charging light. We just fought a never-ending battle on that thing to get it to work right, because we were using the original Marelli alternator, and I've accumulated a whole slew of these now. I'm going to try to get them rebuilt, but it occurred to me that somebody else who just wants a tractor to use it is not going to want to be tracking down all these hard to find parts all the time. Plus, I'd kind of like to have them as spares. So that got me to thinking, digging through my parts stash. That tractor, the original 1365, someone had already converted it to a Delco alternator way back when. And then when we got the new engine, it had the original stuff, so we went with that. So I dug around through the parts stash, found the alternator, which is a 3-wire, or like an externally regulated one, and somebody already did some magic. I have no idea what this does or how it works or whatever. They siliconed over this. I'm guessing they made it a 1-wire alternator using this gizmo. But that ain't for me. I don't understand that, and not even going to go there with that little box. And so I thought, well, I can just use one of these and then put the regulator up on the firewall. No, I don't want to do that. 10 SI is the way to go. And then hopefully I can eliminate all this gadgetry here. And let me show you what I've done. So I dug through my stash of rebuilt alternators and found this 10 SI, which we've talked about before, is internally regulated. Basically what you have when you're done, ignore the Fiat wires, you have your wire to your battery where it sends out the charging. Then you have a wire that needs to be hot all the time. And then you have the signal wire that tells it to charge. So, if I'm thinking correctly, and we're soon going to find out, I can use this gray wire, make it hot all the time. The yellow wire is the wire that triggered our light before, so we're going to wire it to this one, which will come on with the key. Then we need to go under the hood. Now we have this big void of wires where I've taken out stuff, because you recall the other one uses this relay thing to make that light work, because the light is actually grounded to the housing instead of having power sent into it, and that's not going to really work for what we're trying to do. So if we think about this, the green wire was fused to the regulator like this, and then that goes to your alternator, the gray wire. So I'm going to connect these two together, and then that will make the hot all the time to the alternator. And I need to do some test lighting to see if it's actually hot right now, if it's only hot when the key's in the first position. That would be better. I don't like to, usually when I do the hot all the time, I just loop it around to the battery wire. You know what I'm saying. So if we can make this go, then that eliminates 2 wires, and we're good to go. Now for our light situation, the yellow wire comes from the alternator. The blue wire is what goes to the light in our dash. These 2 wires should be where it gets its power, that relay got its power from. So if I connect this wire, the power here, to this blue wire, which will send the power to the wire in the dash, then what I'm going to do, I dug around at Napa and I found this little number, which I think I can fit inside of the original housing to use the light, or it's like the thing you see is not a light, it's just a cover that has the word written on it. So it just needs a light bulb behind it. So if I stick this in that hole, and then I run, you know, hook these together, then I can use the wire that's up there to one of these. Then I need to run one wire back and hook it to this yellow one. And in theory, that will come on with the key. The light will be on. When it starts charging, the light will go out. And then all will be right with the world. And he will have an Americanized charging system that if something goes wrong, all he's got to do is get another alternator, and he should be good to go. So that's my plan here. So we got some wiring to do and test our theory. I don't see why this wouldn't work, but that's the route we're going to go. You know, this, like I said, if it was a collector tractor, kind of like what I did with that, I wanted it to be original, but I wouldn't have had to. I could have done this on that one and saved myself a world of headache, but I don't want to. I want it to be the way it was. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to need a lot of, we could do jumper wires. I may do that anyway, just so that I don't like destroying things or modifying too much. I'd rather make it where we could put it back if it doesn't work, and we could always unmodify it if we had to. So I think that's the route I'm going to go. I'll just make some jumper loops for now, and if we prove the concept, we can always go back and change it later. But I want to test light this stuff first and make sure. But this one should be where, this should be hot, and then so should these 2. And then we can regulate this accordingly and make it go. So that's my plan. But I think we'll start down here at the alternator and get everything rigged up the way we need. I think a couple spade terminals will fix us there. And we can just plug this plug right into these, and, you know, we're good to go. All right, so in order for this to go, I really should strip a little more off of that. I probably should use insulated connectors, but I can just tape it good. Or I can cut that other end off and put an insulated one on if we have to. But we're just in the testing phase right now, so we're not certain that we're going to leave it all this way. So we don't want to get too caught up in stuff. All right. And we need to tighten that too, because that ain't good. Hopefully we don't roast anything like we're doing right now. See, the battery's hooked up. Dum-dum. We should probably use actual tools, or disconnect the battery, or both. Can we do this without arcing? Probably not. Okey-doke. Well, sure. Let's just destroy that. Alright. Testing phase. We'll make it look pretty later. I'm hoping that this may be useful to some of you who have one of these tractors and want to get your stuff working. You should be able to follow my instructions and convert yours over too. So now, I was thinking that I'm going to make sure that we got, okay, that comes on with the key. Can you see that? Which is good. So that will go to our gray and become our hot feed to that one. Now, these two should also come on. Ooh, but they don't. Oh yeah, they do. Yeah, okay. So my thinking is correct as far as what we're doing. Ooh, I found a jumper. I don't remember making this, but sweet. So we're going to use this to jump from here to here. Right, that should work. Then we're going to jump from the hot ones to the blue ones. However, we need to disconnect the dash first, or we're going to have fire, and we don't want fire. And if I remember, I'm not even sure we need to. We'll let's just go ahead and wire this in. It's not that much more issue to do. I'll just get a butt connector for this one because there's a lot of stuff inside that light socket. Let's go here. And of course we don't hardly have any room. That's handy. You like how I laid everything here and then still lost it? Oh, you know what? I don't need that butt connector. I've got one of these fancy ones here. That's what we'll use. came with the light, which I think are shrink wrappy, so heat will make them more better. Let's get rid of some of this. We don't need all this. Remember, all we can do is fail and burn this whole rig to the ground. This might actually be long enough I could test it this away just by jamming this together. So we're going to do that for the test phase. Maybe this doesn't make sense to you, but it makes sense to me. And so when you see the fireball, at least that's what you can tell the paramedics, you know. I really thought it was going to work. That's what I'm saying. Alright. We're so close. We're so close to either success or fireball. Because we're not using any fuses. No. We're going to have an extra one here which we can delete. Or tape up in there or do something if we have to. Now, if my thinking is correct, which it seldom ever is, I can slip this in here. Actually, I think I'll strip it more and just, because we're going to change this once we're sure it works. We're going to make this more better. But for now, we're going to slip this through here like that there. Alright. Now, if the I know it looks crazy, but it's going to work. So, if this is correct, when I turn this on, the light should go on. When I start the tractor, the light goes out. Then you shut it off and the light comes on. Bingo bango. My plan worked. So now we need to just beautify this and make it more better. And then we're going to be super duper in good shape. We'll figure out how to retain this inside of there. And like I said, we need to run one wire under here somehow to hook to this. But then we got us a working light system for the charging. We got working oil pressure. And I mean, guys, we got her licked. The only thing we got left to do is mess with that hydraulic system some more. And then worry about the wheels. You know, we just got to flip around till we get the best combination for everybody. Because I'm taking the rim off that one to replace the rim on the opposite side of that tractor. I guess I'll take this pair of tires for that tractor, and then I'll have 2 tires to choose from there, and then those 2 tires to choose from to put the best mates. That one is too big, so we're not going to use that one. But I mean, unless I take this off and this is just garbage, I mean, it looks pretty bad, but I think the tire is okay. I think the tire will run another day if I just get it off of this rim. And you know, so I don't like the long bar short bar bars, but I can't argue with you know, I like the match setness of them, and these are just not going to make it. I mean, this one, look at this. This has been in some kind of barroom brawl or something. I mean, all over. It's just an accident waiting to happen. So yeah, that's what's going to be. I'm still loving those front tires. That is just sweet. But anyway, I think we're going to have us something here pretty soon. Once we figure out what combination of stuff to make go. One of these, well, it works out that the rim I'm going to use is this rim. so I can dismount this oddball tire. And then that other one, we can just leave alone and swap right over to the other tractor and hopefully save us a step of mounting and dismounting. So this one will go on that side of that one, and then we're good to go there. So yeah, I'm hoping that the hydraulic lift system isn't real difficult to get going. I think a screen cleaning and fluid change would probably go a long way. If the hydraulic pump's not very good, well, we got one on there we can flop. And it's coming along. Like, I'm hopeful that very soon we will be trading for something else, and that would be cool, because I like having ones I don't have. I don't need 4 of the same one when I could have a different model. So he's gonna get this silver grill off of that red tractor, because this isn't yeah, this is the later style grill, but we can paint it if we have to, or he can paint it, you know. I don't know. I'm not real concerned with aesthetics. That's something that he can mess with. I just want everything working correctly so that mechanically he's good to go. And I think we can get there pretty simply. That alternator situation was my last real big headache puzzle. So I'm thrilled that that worked out like I thought it would. So in other words, wrapping up, summarizing, that's what you're supposed to do when you write a paper. If you want to convert anything to anything, get you one of these 10SI alternators, and you can use that position 1 to trigger your light, you know. And then I think you can even do it on a 1-wire alternator. They have a plug over that hole, but I think if you pry it up, you can hook it to the position 1. I think it's still underneath there. You just don't need it to excite the thing. But anyway, I'm thinking that was a success. So pretty sweet. And I'm glad I had that other bracket and stuff somebody made already that came off of there, because then I didn't have to fool with the geometry and figuring out where it had to be. All I had to do is just bolt it on and go. So pretty sweet. As always, if you enjoy my videos, give them a thumbs up. Leave a comment and tell me how dumb you think I am. Or if by some slim chance you liked it, say that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.